Hello, my loves. Okie dokie. So this week here and in the membership, we are covering past lives, the gift, the fear, how it kind of influences present day. I want to talk about the fear, how it can unconsciously drive our actions, and how actually when you tap into your past lives, it can shift your behaviors, but then how those behaviors can actually, once you're aware, can lighten up your manifestations. And when I say lighten up your manifestations, it's almost like it opens up a doorway for those manifestations to flood in. Because sometimes we hear the words past lives and we think, oh, cool, fun, I'm going to find out who I was, and therefore why I might have the family I have. And people think kind of karma, right? In terms of, okay, they think things from, I did something bad in a past life, and that's why things suck in this lifetime. And so if I figure out what went wrong in that lifetime, then I'll get it right in this lifetime. And whilst I understand that is a little bit more nuanced than that. Each lifetime offers you a different buffet table, so to speak. And each buffet table is so that you can enjoy a variety of choices and experiences. And each choice that's offered to you on the buffet table of life is so that you can decide what feels good, what doesn't. You can take it or leave it. And each choice is influencing your transformation, your growth, your expansion. And each timeline, in terms of the era, if you will, that we come into, supports our evolution. So I know that depending on what time period I was experiencing a timeline has supported me in this lifetime with where my passion lies. So, for example, I have had multiple lifetimes whereby I was experiencing periods where women did not have the vote. Women did not have access to money like they have now. And I saw myself in all of those timelines fighting to have money independently, fighting to have my voice heard. And there was a common theme in all of these past lives for me, in that, oh, okay, I was very forthright. I was very independent, very rebellious. I did not like to have my sense of self dominated by anybody else. I had a very high self-esteem, self-worth. That was overshadowed by a patriarchal system in multiple timelines. What's interesting about this lifetime, so you could say that the buffet table for me in other timelines was, I picked independence, self-esteem, honoring choice, honoring passion, honoring independence. This lifetime, complete opposite. Not because that was wrong, but because, oh, okay, in this lifetime, Trudy needed to experience what the opposite end of the spectrum would be like. When you're told, oh, you did something shitty in another lifetime, and now you're paying for it in this lifetime, and you're paying for it through ill health, disability, whatever. What do you think that does to someone's psyche? What do you think that does to their self-esteem? It puts you in a position of maybe victimhood. It puts you in a position whereby you think the world is out to get you. It puts you in a position of, oh, okay, don't I have a sense of autonomy? Don't I have a sense of um I get to isn't my life worthy? Like who's running things here? And I say that from the position of, for a very, 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 very long time, thinking I did something. I was the one that was being blamed for abuse. And oh, I consciously manifested being sexually abused. Oh, my children did something bad in a past life, and that's now why they have the health conditions that they have. And it's a very to me it's a very toxic, cruel, demeaning perspective to take on what I now know about karma and past lives and energy. And from the years and years of work that I've done with my guides, and the way that my guides talk about past lives is they say, no, it's each lifetime is simply giving you an opportunity to be aware of self, to be aware of self. And that is it, to be aware of self, awareness and self. And I just want you to think of those two concepts, because those two concepts can be absolutely fraught with conditions. Because you might think, the moment you think of the word self, oh, in comes judgment, in comes ego, in comes the shoulds, in comes the desires, then in comes the restriction, the contraction, the is this okay? But then we have awareness. What does awareness look like for me? What does that feel like? What is awareness calling me into? What is it really asking of me? When I am aware, how am I evolving? How am I changing? How am I transforming? If I am truly aware, am I judging? Am I being judged? And if I'm being judged and I am aware, am I the one judging? So how does this relate to past lives and fear? So I was a person that was of the belief that if I wasn't in a romantic relationship, I had somehow failed. And not only had I failed, I would never be able to create financial independence. Not only would I not be able to create financial independence, I would not be able to parent by myself. And these things ran into every single facet of my life, my being, You name it. I felt like I could not function without a man. Really interesting how this was the lifetime whereby my past lives were the complete opposite of that. So things do not happen in a linear fashion whereby, oh, all your past lives suck, but it's the most recent lifetime that's a-okay and perfect, right? Like I say, it's a buffet table. So my godson, he said, let's explore your past lives. They don't consider it past lives in a linear perspective, right? Everything is happening at once because time does not exist. It's the best metaphor I can give to you is imagine a load of TV screens all on at once. Okay, each TV screen has multiple channels on. You're watching one in front of you, right? One channel on in front of you. Does that mean to say that if the rest are on, that one channel that you're looking at doesn't exist? No. Also, the moment that you switch that channel off doesn't mean to say that the rest go off. They could all be playing on different channels. It just means that you're just focused on that channel because that's the frequency that you're tuned into, and the rest all exist. And if someone else came into the room as well, they might choose to look at a different channel to you because that's what gets their attention. That is the timeline, the channel that they are tuned into. But the minute that they switch it off because they go, actually, no, I want to watch that one now, then that one effectively, the one that they were looking at, doesn't exist anymore. But it doesn't mean to say that it has ceased to exist completely. Right, that's why we can tap into them when we decide to, through regression, through past life readings, through meditation. The minute you go, oh, I'm going to close my eyes, I want to look at where I am, who I was, why this is going on, and you get those visuals, or you get that intuitive feeling, you get that feeling of deja vu. It's because you never actually went offline, you never stopped looking at the channels, right? So my guide, Sunny, said, okay, Trude, you're a very visual person. You learn best through visual interpretations. And I was shown, I've been shown so many past lives, but I'm going to give you this one. And I was shown the moment where I was a Red Cross nurse and I was running through a battlefield looking for my husband. And I saw him through all of the smoke and all of the gunfire. And I saw him coming through the gunfire, mortally wounded, and he died in my arms. And I remember seeing myself screaming as he died in my arms. And I remember feeling that visceral feeling of, if only he had listened to me, if only he had not gone to war, I would not be feeling this pain. I would not be feeling this heartbreak. I would not be feeling this loss of control. That was the biggie for me, this loss of control. I would not be feeling alone. I would not be feeling the burden, the heaviness, the responsibility of then having to take care of everything myself, then, having to find a job. I'd in that lifetime, I'd gone into nursing not because I wanted to, but because I felt I had to, in order to make sure that he wasn't hurt, because I had the mentality in that lifetime that I could save everybody and rescue everybody. The irony was, in this lifetime, when I was a little girl, I used to absolutely hate it when other kids would go off to the teacher with like a grazed knee, and I'd be like, no, I can fix you. I can sort it out. I would try and do it instead. And when I was 16, my mother actually filled in an application for me to do a nursing apprenticeship. And I just blindly went into it. It wasn't a choice that I made. It was like, yeah, I'll do that because yeah, that makes sense. And I hated it. And I stuck with it for 11 years. Stuck with nursing for 11 years and I hated it. Um, but when the feelings, the visual memories came through as the root cause as to why I couldn't let this toxic relationship go. I had tried to let him go multiple times because logically I knew it wasn't doing me any good at all. It was like, oh, okay. This is why I bring him back every time because I'm assuming that these feelings in my body, this fear, this heartbreak, this loss of control, this heaviness in my body, I'm associating it with death. Not just that he's leaving and I'm moving on and I'm taking care of myself and that life is going to get better for me now because I'm releasing a toxic person out of my life, which means I'm I'm loving me, but I'm associating those feelings with death. That I'm holding death in my arms and that I am responsible for death. And so each time those feelings are triggered subconsciously in my present timeline, I'm going, no, 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 come back because it's too painful. And so when I saw that past life and I eventually let him go, but I saw that past life, I never asked him back again because I understood the root cause. And I could go, you know what? No, those feelings are because your mind, your body is associating it with death rather than no, this is just the body remembering a pain that you could not control and you tried to control. Which means now you know where it comes from, where it truly comes from, and your body's remembering it. We can respond to it with the love, the care, the compassion that it deserves in this present time, but also for the woman I was in that past lifetime. Yes, you tried to control things, but you couldn't. And neither did you have to. Neither should you have been placed in a position where you felt like you had to control things. Because women were put in extraordinary circumstances back then. Oh, you're responsible for saving our wounded men. And if you didn't save them, oh, you better get back. You better get back home and save them there. This lifetime, I recognized, oh, okay, it's about saving me. And my feelings being triggered by present day circumstances were trying to let me know, okay, this heartbreak, this discomfort is remembering death. You're assuming that people leaving, even though you told them to go, feels like death, is actually because you're letting old versions of you die. Doesn't mean to say that you are dying, that you have done something wrong. It's really interesting that we think that when our body is uncomfortable and it is going through heartbreak, even though we were the ones that initiated the choice, initiated the change, that it feels like, oh, I've done something wrong here. And so we back down. We don't stay grounded in our choices. We we waver. And this is where past lives can kind of help you to not waver, to remain true to who you really are. And that's ultimately what I want to bring to your attention with past lives. That when you can see the root of, okay, these are where my behaviors and my feelings originate from. It's like giving you a soft cushion you can land on. It's giving you a space to be kind to yourself. It's giving you the reasons. I'm a person where I like to be given evidence for the why, because that helps me not only be aware, but it gives me an understanding of myself, where it essentially gives me a break. And I think we all deserve that, because sometimes it's not easy to go, oh, I'm just going to be compassionate for myself. I'm just going to love myself. Maybe it's the neurodivergent in me. But I like, and it's just the way that my brain works, I like to understand reasons. I like evidence. And for me, past lives gives me evidence for the why. And in turn, that helps me be compassionate towards myself. It helps me go, you know what? Because I understand why I do this, why this is happening, I feel like I can let myself off the hook. And it's okay. It's okay to want that, to ask for that. And that's why I also love spirit guide work. And all of these are not separate to manifestation. It helps me manifest better because I'm no longer going, oh, I have to follow somebody else's plan. I know exactly what helps me align. And when you know what helps you align, what helps you to get into that feeling place, what helps your nervous system, your body kind of just go, ooh, we're settling in now. We feel calm now. We feel good now. Then it makes it much easier to come back into your power zone. And when you're in your power zone, the goals that you have, the desires that you have are no longer charged with should, judgment, the blocks that, oh, no, that's no longer realistic for my supposed reality that other people have tried to project onto you. So I would love your thoughts. The membership is the place to go if you want to go even deeper. The membership will have a visualization that you can take yourself through as well for that. Okay, lots of love. I will see you all soon. Bye for now.